Today on the program, Customs generates 1.75 trillion naira in first quarter as Comptroller General says duty exemptions on food imports have led to price reduction. Amid killings, governors demand more security personnel, tech-driven solutions. Dele Momodu cites survival politics as opposition weakens. With more PDP governors, senators eyeing defection to APC. And later on the program, President Tinubu releases 50 billion naira to settle ASU and others. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Utitoju and Kayode Ladende. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. At the nation's borders, where goods flow and policies find expression, the Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) is keeping watch. In the first quarter of 2025, the service announced a revenue collection of 1.75 trillion naira, exceeding its target by over 106 billion naira. But the story isn't just in the numbers. Comptroller General Wale Adeniyi attributed parts of this achievement to the government's decision to grant duty exemptions on key food imports. From 2024 to early 2025, 95.1 billion naira worth of food import waivers were granted, helping ease the burden on Nigerians by reducing the prices of staples like rice, maize and sorghum. Yet, all is not smooth sailing. The service highlighted a persisting volatility in exchange rate as a significant hurdle, one that continues to distort trade volumes and affect valuation at the ports. All right, BK, let's begin this way. Now the Nigerian Customs Service, continues to demonstrate its unwavering commitment when it comes to revenue collection, recording a remarkable 65% surge.
Yes.
Your thoughts on this?
The progress being made by the Customs Service under the leadership of the current Comptroller General is organic, is remarkable, and is consistent. If you made progress in a year, we want to see whether you can sustain the momentum, because momentum is key in everything, whether it's politics or sports. Momentum is very important, and we've seen now that there is momentum when we're talking about the Nigerian Customs Service. In 2024, the Nigerian Customs Service made 6.1 trillion, which represents a substantial increase. That is an increase of 90.4% on the 3.2 billion it collected in 2023.
Okay.
So if you made progress, that quantum of progress that was made is something that really impressed someone like me. More than 90% progress over what was generated in 2023.
Okay.
And now we're talking about 2025. The first quarter, we are just through with the first quarter. And the signs are there that if they go on in this manner, they are going to exceed
the target
yet again. Month on month, they are doing well. They are exceeding target even month on month. So now you look at their target for the first quarter, they've already exceeded it. And if they made 1.7 trillion in this first quarter, it suggests that they are going to surpass the 6.1 trillion that they recorded in the year 2024. Just the progress is continual, is being sustained. So at the time when the president made the choice to pick someone from within the service, to pick an experienced man like Adewale, who is the longest serving customs spokesman, you know, the longest serving. Many of the staff were happy because they had about 8 years of someone who was brought in from outside, and that in itself is demoralizing.
True.
That you couldn't look within, that you couldn't find someone within the service who could take up that role. You now brought in a retired soldier. Well, look at the progress that we are seeing. Because somebody who had been within
the system,
within the system, he understands the system
absolutely
so much. It's like, for him, it's like breathing in and breathing out. There's nothing that you do more frequently than breathing in and breathing out. So that's why I'm using that analogy.
Yes.
So the customs is Adewale's natural habitat. He grew through the ranks over the years. He understands what the issues are. And look at the program in terms of even arms haul and all that, we are seeing progress. So when I saw this figure, I said, in spite of the inclement economic environment that we found ourselves, these guys are trying their best. They're giving them a target, and they are on course to exceeding that target. It is good news.
And in the area of blocking leakages, it shows that they're doing well.
You see, when you understand the terrain, solving these problems will come naturally, except you are inherently a bad person who is not ready to work. But you see, his colleagues will jump in just to make sure that, yes, one of us does not fail.
Absolutely.
You know, so this is what we are seeing. It is progress. And Apapa and Oneport, they are crucial to ensuring that the service meets its target, because these are real revenue areas. And I can see the attention that the customs boss has given, that they are constantly looking at them to see what can they do, how can they be assisted, you know, to ramp up the quality work that they have been given.
All right, Kaidi, let's talk food. In the area of food price reduction, you know, it reduced from 18% to 12%. The federal government's food security initiatives in the area of duty exemptions on food imports is really working.
You know, the good news is customs is publishing this kind of reports, because sometimes people just felt nothing is being done. Absolutely. You know, some people will even deny that prices of food have not come down. You know, people can live as deep as that kind of self-denial. But, you know, coming up to let us know that this is the impact, and this is another way of letting people know that government is doing something about the issue of food, because it's very key, it's very important, and it's for us to appreciate that, okay, customs would have loved to, you know, meet their target, exceed their target, and do the necessary. But they're letting us know that this decision, this is the implication. And it's quite a noble idea, you know. It's just for us to also still look inward beyond the tax exemptions for some of this food to really boost our local food and everything, because that's the way forward. You know, beyond what we're doing now, we don't know whether we can ever be self-sufficient, but it's quite important.
But he also talked about unstable exchange rates. What should the government be doing in that?
Technically speaking, that has been quite stable, very, very stable. In my assessment, especially if you have been doing some kind of exchange recently, it means a lot. I know our target is 1,000 below and the rest, but economically wise, if you look at what CBN is doing and whatever is being done, you know, in fact, between last week and this week, I've even seen some kind of drop, you know. So it's just to say that by the time we improve our local manufacturing and we do more on that, and then now we're having less importation of fuel and petrol and stuff like that, trust me, this thing will drop significantly. As we speak, people are beginning to fly. Less than 100,000. Are you aware? You remember at a time, you can't even do all these things. These are some of the interventions that government is doing, and we can only hope for the better.
All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. When peace becomes fragile, leadership is forced to confront the fractures. In the face of recent killings across several states, the Nigerian Governors Forum